So, update as far as 411. It is turkey season. I'm in my camper that I've had for a while, and I'm at a friend's house. Still, no real resolutions yet as far as who's harassing me and or my family, but I definitely know that it's starting to rain. I definitely know that it's connected through cyber harassment of some kind. All of my devices are able to be controlled. I'll listen to music and it'll just get cut on and off, like, intentionally, as a joke. It's obvious. I'm basically making uh, some extra cash. What I've done is I've taken some of my collections of antiques, crocs, axes, some knives, things like that, and I've sold it um, to a dealer, to a antiques buyer who is in the business of selling and buying antiques and all kind of stuff, uh, to generate some cash. And as a result, I had enough money to get a cyber investigation done of some sort to discover what's being used and what have you. But as distant as my family is pushed me to be and stuff like that, without a vehicle, I went ahead and bought a little Toyota truck, and I'm gonna try to get my old truck fixed. But something significant about this truck, I've been worried about the key for it. I bought it from a friend of mine's. His girlfriend, her grandfather, had this truck, and I knew the truck, knew it was going to be a pretty good vehicle, stuff like that, but knew who had it. And something significant. He came to town about 40 minutes away from where he lives in another small town, and I got in the truck with him and took him back home, and then I kept the truck. Well, when we got to his house, his door had been tampered with. And I'd been worried about the key to this truck because these people want either copies. I don't know if they use lockpicks or if they have if they get copies of keys somehow when you're just not around them. If I leave them outside in this camper, if they're just not on my person at all times, they might get a copy of it, a little imprint or something of the like. Well, you can't really do that with a truck key, as far as lockpicks go. Now, copies, of course, but not wanting to sound paranoid to him, I didn't want to tell him the night I paid for the truck. I got it a couple days later. Well, I wanted to tell him, you know, guard that key with your life. Sleep with that key, just so they couldn't whoever this is couldn't get a hold of it and make a copy and then have access to my truck. At least inside it to get items. Well, as soon as we show up to his house, I hadn't mentioned anything to him. He's an older guy. Just didn't figure, I'd say anything to him about it. But when we arrived at his house, he immediately saw that his door had been tampered with. I got a picture of it. It may be on my other phone. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So this is the door at his apartment that he lives at, by the deadbolt. See that? I mean, he immediately saw that had been done, and he wasn't real sure when. But he knows it wasn't like that. He didn't think it was like that when he left. So I immediately almost threw up, because obviously someone tried to enter his home. I think possibly to get the key to my truck that I was finna buy. And maybe not. But he lives in a very small town as well, smaller than this one. And that kind of stuff doesn't go on there. And it's immediately what he said, Well, I went in and filled him in on my situation a little bit. He thinks it directly has to do with me. He said he's never had that happen before. Said no one would try to get in there no, there's not much in there. I think it's significant. He's supposed to do a report on it just for my safety. That way, if anything happens to me, that's noted that the guy's home was at least attempted to be broke into after I buy a truck from him, which he still had possession of and had the key, too. So, but as of right now, I'm not really sure what my plan is going forward. Self-defense, checking in on family, friends, paying attention. Same Frosty. That's the plan as of right now. I still got some money. Basically telling my family, my folks, just hey, I'll come home after we get something definitive. After you two wake up and realize something's going on here, and I need someone like some kind of digital forensics team or company to help me out. I mentioned to MVPD, about the AirTag. I mean, they had to Google what AirTag was. I mean, I just have no idea really what to do. I don't know what, everyone says contact your local department and stuff for something very, very technological when they don't have any experience or knowledge technologically. So, it's about an 8-minute long video. I'll be in touch. I'll just be checking in and gonna try to stay vigilant. This is number one on the priority list right now. Sure is.